This is Ian from Lean Media, and I wanted to take a couple minutes to talk about the topic of basically fake books written by AI. And this book was given to me by a gift who knew that we were traveling to Taiwan. They probably searched for Taiwan travel guide, and this one came up. This is an AI-generated book. It's very low quality. I just wanted to alert people to the fact that a lot of books you see nowadays on Amazon are, in fact, written by AIs, not by real people. There's a couple telltale signs. Unfortunately, some of the signs you won't know until you actually read the book, until you pick up the book, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But other things that you can tell, you can determine right when you're browsing the book on Amazon. So, for instance, this particular author, you can click on the name of the author in Amazon, and basically it will show a list of all the books that that person has written. And amazingly, this person, Kelly, was able to crank out about a dozen books in late 2024 over a 2-month period on all kinds of travel-related topics. So like, travel to Madeira in 2025, travel to Vancouver Island in 2025, by the same author in a very short period of time. So that's one surefire method to determine whether an author is real or fake, because no real author can crank out books that quickly. So that's one telltale sign. The other telltale signs, and I actually withheld judgment until I opened up the book. And just for your reference, I'm a professional publisher. I've been publishing for more than 10 years. So I know what to look for in books to tell if it's done by an amateur or they don't know what they're doing. So a couple of things that came up with this book. The first thing is let's see here. This is the TOC. This is a copyright page. It's basically done in a way where you can barely read the text. So they didn't use dark enough text, or they probably used colored text, which doesn't reproduce well in black and white, and they just weren't aware of that. Like you can barely read chapter 1, chapter 2. The text itself, you can see it is very large print and then also huge margins. This is non-standard margins, and also the way that they set up the page numbers is wrong. You don't have the page numbers in the lower right corner on the inside on a left side page. That should be on this side of the page, or even better up here. That's where most people are looking. There's no information about the author or the title up here in the header. So that's a surefire sign that whoever publishes doesn't know what they're doing. The text is too large. Not a single picture. This is a guidebook about Taiwan. It's talking about all of these great things you should see, and there's not a single picture in here. And it's not hard to include pictures in a book nowadays, even a print-on-demand book like this. So another thing that was a sure giveaway that this was basically published by AI is just the language. There's no spirit in the language. There's nothing unusual about the author. It's too perfect. It's basically like the AI was asked to generate a soaring book about travel to Taiwan, listing all of the famous spots that you should pick out, and the AI just spit it out. And that's basically what you got here. There is nothing special in here, no special insights, no unique insights for sure. Very vague on specific details, like, for instance, like the address of a certain department store or restaurant or a temple you should check out. Like, I would at least expect that, or say, okay, what's the nearest subway stop? Nothing like that. So this is a really low quality AI-generated book by a fake AI author. I don't believe this is the real name of the person who published it. It's probably, who knows? My image of people who write AI books, it's usually some guy, living in their parents' basement, just looking for a cheap way to make passive income. And unfortunately, this person was able to trick the customer of this book on Amazon. The person who bought it assumed they were getting a good quality guide, and actually this is a piece of garbage. My advice for anybody who's purchasing a travel guide, definitely you want to look at well-known brands, but even then you want to be careful, because a lot of these brands, they've been sold and resold to different companies, and these publishing companies are now looking for the cheapest way to publish a book, and of course they're using AI too. But this was kind of a depressing thing that happened when I purchased this book. Here's another giveaway that this is not done by a pro. This is an ISBN code. If it says 90,000 in the pricing area, that means no price set. So the people had no intention of ever selling this in a bookstore, because they know that no bookstore would stock a piece of garbage like that. This is Ian from Lean Media signing off. I hope you liked it. Please be sure to follow. And if you have any questions or comments about it, just leave it in the comments below.